it's Luann Pygott. You are in my kitchen, and guess what it's time for? It's time to bake a cake. Okay, this is one I have never made before, and it is called, I didn't name this. It is called Cinna-Bun cake in the oven. It's a cinnamon cake. I've had cinnamon cake before, but it was a box mix. I don't even know if they make that box mix anymore. It was pretty good, actually, for box mix. This will be the first one, I think, that I have made a cinnamon cake from scratch. So let's see how it turns out. And I love cinnamon. Cinnamon cake is good, too. It's good. So I'm going to make half the cake so I don't end up with way more cake than I want. Okay, here's my mixer. So I'm going to start. So it says I need a half a cup of butter melted. So I'm going to stick this over here to melt. So that's a stick of butter. And I'm going to start that over here melting. I've already got it softened, all the butter. Oh, is that what I want? No, I'm doing half of it. So you would do a stick of butter, but I'm doing half a stick of butter. Let's make sure I do the right one here, because I'm cutting this recipe in half. So I'll tell you the whole recipe. Put it in a 9 by 13 pan if you do the whole recipe. But I'm doing, let me go ahead and butter. I'm going to butter this pan. So here's what I did. I put the butter in the pan. Sorry about that. I bumped it with my hand. I didn't mean to do that. And down we all go. Ashes, ashes. We all fall down. Okay. So I'm going to take the paper. It says butter the pan. It doesn't say butter and flour. It says butter. So I'm taking the butter paper and just smearing that on my pan. There we go. So I have now buttered my cake pan. Alright, let's see if I can do this without a catastrophe again. Alright, so I'm melting the butter in the pan on the stove. Okay, so I'm now going to add, let's see, it doesn't particularly tell you in order to do this. I'm thinking. Since you don't start with the butter with this one, I'm going to start with the dry ingredients. So you would put 3 cups of flour. Which I am doing half. A little knife leveler here. So I'm going to take my flour like I always take my flour. In lieu of sifting, I stir. It lightens up the flour so it's not packed. So what you do is take a whisk and gently stir your flour, and that will lighten it all up. It'll keep it from packing down tight. It's a whole lot faster and easier than sifting. Unless you particularly want to sift it because of lumps or something, but I don't. But I don't. Okay, for some reason, this had something sticky in it. That measuring thing was completely sticky. I don't get that. But okay, let's move on to another measuring cup then. How is it here and it's sticky? I don't know. Let's put it away. All right. So here we go. You would do 3 cups of flour. I'm cutting this in half, so do what I say, not what I do. Unless you want half. All right, so that's in my pan. Then we're going to add, let me move the flour out of the way. You are going to have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I know I'm making an awful lot of racket with stuff here right now. There's my salt. Okay. Then you're going to have a cup of sugar. So I think this is basically going to make just like a basic white cake, and then you're going to put cinnamon in it, or on it. Okay, then you're going to have 4 teaspoons of baking powder. That's this one. This one's almost empty on me here. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Scraping off. That will be 4 teaspoons you'll put in to do the whole cake. Then, that's all of the dry. This is not a real difficult cake mix. Let me mix the dry. So all it tells you to do is mix all the base ingredients together. It doesn't really tell me how to do it, so I'm winging it here. I'm just doing what I think. So then you're going to have a 1.5 cups of milk, and I'm just using whole milk. Pouring it into my measuring cup. Two eggs. So there's the milk. Egg. Now remember, you're going to do 2 eggs, but I'm only doing half, so I'm doing 1 egg. Egg. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Use real vanilla. To me, artificial vanilla is bitter. It's just not good. To me, I'd rather have no vanilla than artificial vanilla. So here we go. Remember, you will do 2 teaspoons for the whole cake size. Okay, then you're going to mix all of this, and then you're going to add in 1/2 cup of melted butter. And my butter is all melted. So let me take it off the oven here, stove. All right, and we're going to mix what we got. Okay, so the directions said to mix all of the ingredients except the butter, and then add the butter at the end. So that's what I'm doing. So that was everything except the melted butter. I'm going to just turn this on low because the butter is warm. I don't want it to cook those eggs, so I'm just going to pour a little in. I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can see it in the back a little bit. Here, let's do that. There you go. Now you can see what I'm doing. Okay, pour all that in. Scraping it out of the pan here. Try to get it off. Ooh, interesting looking. Nice and slick. Okay, there's your batter. That actually looks pretty good. Okay. So then, you're going to pour it into your prepared pan. And let's see, I'm going to be baking this on 350, so I've got my oven on 350. Here is my prepared pan. It's just buttered. Let me take this out of here. Now, this is basically, to me, I think, just like a regular vanilla cake. Looks really pretty good. To me, it reminds me of like a Texas sheet cake consistency. It's pretty runny because of the melted butter, I think. Although this one doesn't have any water in it. Sometimes that has water. I'm real curious what this is going to taste like. Although, of course, it'll be taste like cinnamon, but curious as to what this cake will taste like. Okay. So, let me get my little scraper. Since, like I say, this one is pretty runny. So that's going to easily run into the pan. It's not watery runny. It is runnier than like the pound cake though. So I'm going to put this in the pan. So if you're making the full amount, you'll have a 9 by 13 pan. This is like an 8-inch square pan though, because it's half. I have been like on vacation from dieting over the holidays. Just trying to maintain my own. So Monday we're going back on my diet so we can lose the rest of my weight. I've got about 20 pounds to go. That's my New Year's resolution. Lose the rest of that weight I have to go. That's the rest. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's our pan. So I like to take and kind of shake it out, make sure there's no bubbles. And put this out of the way. I kind of have batter all over my hands now. Now, what we're going to make next, they call the topping. Okay, so the topping is going to take 1 cup of butter softened. I'm going to put this in a bowl. We're just going to set that aside and put this in a bowl. Now remember, I'm doing half, so you would use actually 2 sticks of butter. These are softened. I'm only using 1 though. You will use 1 cup of butter. You'll use a cup of brown sugar. Let me get a spoon. This is just going to mix it. Cup of brown sugar. Measure my brown sugar here. This is a little 1/4 cup thing, so I'm going to do this 4 times. It'll be, well, I'm only doing half, so I'm actually going to do it 2 times. But you, for a full size, you're going to do a cup of brown sugar. Now, this is light brown sugar. It doesn't say which. Probably doesn't matter, but if it doesn't say, I always default to light brown sugar. Then you're going to do 2 tablespoons of flour. Measuring spoons back over here. These are the ones my cousin Penny got me. I just love these new measuring spoons. They are Pioneer Woman. And there's like so many different measurements in here I didn't have before. I just love them. Okay, then you're going to do a tablespoon of cinnamon. Off here. Okay. Here's my cinnamon. It's gonna be so good. Okay. So there's what they're calling your topping. Then we're gonna mix that together. And then it says we are going to drop this topping by teaspoonfuls over the base as evenly as you can over the entire base. Okay, so first we're going to mix. Oops, I'm dropping my measuring cups. Hold on. Push them back out of the way. Okay, here we're going to stir, stir, stir. Cinnamon brown sugar, barely a little bit of flour, and butter. Ooh, yep, smells just like a cinnamon roll. Don't you want to make cinnamon rolls right now? We're going to have cinnamon cake. Now I'm going to get my mixer out of the way because I don't need it anymore. We're just going to stir this till it's well blended. I'm just using a spoon, so you don't need anything fancy for this to stir it. Don't you want to just eat this with a spoon? Oh, I do. Be a little sweet, but that's okay. Looks so good. So it's a big glop of cinnamon filling. That's what we have. Okay, so then we're going to take our cake. It says drop by teaspoonfuls. So, you know, okay, I'm guessing. Let's just drop it across the batter. It said try to do it evenly. Okay. Oh, this is a lot of the cinnamon. This is going to be so good. It is thick. That flopped over where I didn't want it, actually. You know, I don't really know that you have to be that even with this. You're going to swirl it. So, you know, it's going to be good. You know what this would be good with right here? Oh, it'd be so good with tea. Who wants to come over for tea? come on over for tea with cinnamon cake. Oh yeah. Okay, then I'm going to put a little bit more over here. That's pretty even. I still got more though. We aren't wasting a drop of this. No, we are not. You know what? This is probably going to be the best smelling thing bacon I have ever made. Cinnamon? Oh, you can't beat the smell of that baking. They say if you want to sell your house and you have people come in to look at your house, I read this somewhere one time, you should put something like cinnamon baking in your oven and have people come over and they'll want to buy your house because it smells like cinnamon. Okay. I've not tried it, but I have read that. Alright, so then it says take a knife and swirl. It's a little heavier. Okay, so this topping is heavier than your batter, and it kind of wants to be naughty. So kind of try to make it swirl and not smear. Do your best. Maybe if the butter was even softer, but I mean it was completely soft. It's a thick filling. Then I'm going to go this way too. So you know, just all you do is you take your knife and you just kind of slice through it back and forth. You twist the knife as you go. Like this. Turn the knife at the end and it swirls it. Okay, there you go. Then, my cat is playing with a toy. I always think she's tearing something up in there. No, she's just playing with her toy. This sounds like she's destroying something. Let me wash my hands real fast. Whew, I got butter on my finger and it doesn't want to wash off. Come on, butter. Alright, there we go. Now, then it says we're going to put this in the oven for 28 to 30 minutes. So I'm going right over there to the oven with the beautiful looking cake. Alright, there we go. Alright, we'll set it for 28 minutes and then we'll check. Alright, so then it says, while that is baking, prepare the glaze and set it aside. So apparently it's fine to make the glaze ahead. So it says we are going to need 2 cups of powdered sugar. So I'm going to do half because of, you know, cake is half. So I'm just, ooh, that was way too much. I'm going to put this right in the measuring cup, mix it in the measuring cup. Because I can. So that's, I got lumpy sugar in here. I probably should sift this sugar, but I don't want to. I do not want to. That is close. Alright, so let me get this little whisk. First of all, I want to get that big lump out of there. Get out of there, lump. And then I'm going to like whisk this too, with this little whisk to kind of break up some of these lumps, because this is pretty lumpy. It's not usually quite this lumpy, and this is lumpy. So I'm just stirring it dry to de-lump. Okay, there we go. Not as bad. Then you're going to have 5 tablespoons of milk and a teaspoon of vanilla. All right, so we're going to do milk. And then you're going to pour this over the cake when it says, while it is still warm. Okay. So if you're making the full amount, that's 5 tablespoons you want. Looking for a certain thing here and not seeing it. Sorry, I'll use this right here. This is actually the equivalent of 2.5 tablespoons because I'm doing half of the 5. Okay, so there's the milk. And then you're going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. And that's it for that. For the glaze. There you go. If you accidentally put too much vanilla in, it'll just be that much better. The vanilla good. So I'm going to take this little whisk and I'm going to stir this. And that's our glaze. Now this doesn't tell you what to do for this, but I know, do you know how to make your icing ahead of time? Whether it's glaze or icing or anything? Do you know how to make it ahead of time and have it not dry out while you're waiting? Do you know how to do that? There's a trick to that. Because if you just let this sit here, this will probably start drying on the top. So how do you keep that from happening, you say? I'm going to show you. You can do this with any kind of icing, regular icing, glaze icing, any kind of icing. So it will not dry out. So what you have to do is keep it from having dry air hit it. Okay, that is, ooh, that looks good. Doesn't that look like the topping of cinnamon rolls? It does. Okay, there we go. Tastes like it too. Ooh, that tastes good. Okay, so here's what you do. Take a paper towel and get it wet and squeeze almost all the water out. It's just barely damp. And you unfold it and you're going to lay that paper towel over your container. So if you have a big container, you just use more paper towel. Now, that's not enough because that will dry out. So then you have to keep, the paper towel will keep the dampness there so that icing doesn't dry out. But then what you have to do is you can't let this dry out or it won't work. So you take a piece of plastic wrap, then put it on top of the damp paper towel, and there you have a cover on your icing or glaze container that will not let it dry out. And you can just let it sit there for quite some time actually, if you need to. And when the cake is done, we'll drizzle it on. It says on a warm cake. So I'll probably let the cake cool for, 5-10 minutes or something. It says warm cake, not hot cake. So I will probably let the cake cool for 10 minutes. And then I will pour this glaze on it once it comes out. And here is the picture of the cake, but I think that's the picture of the cake half baked. I don't think that's a done cake, but that's the picture they're showing in this recipe. So I will post a picture of it online on my video here, so you can come back and check the comments. I'll also put the recipe there, and then I will let you know if it's any good, because I'm not actually going to have this till tomorrow, so I will let you know. So thank you for watching. Tomorrow I'm going to come on. I'm going to cook the meal in the morning. It'll be later morning, like 11 o'clock. So I'm going to make, let me find where I have that recipe. Oh, I think I have it in the living room. Okay, so what it's called, apricot chicken or something like that. So you cook chicken and you use apricot preserves and some soy sauce and something. But maybe it's brown sugar. I don't remember, but it has something else in it. But it's mostly apricot preserves and some soy sauce. And it's like a glaze for the chicken, and you serve it over rice. And it sounded so good. So here I have my apricot preserves. Did you know they have Smucker's buy one get one free in Publix right now? Go get some. I don't remember if this flavor was or not, but I didn't realize it till after I left that, oh, that was buy one get one free. Oh well, I don't know that this flavor was, but some of it is. But there's my apricot preserves. I have soy sauce. We're gonna make that tomorrow, and I'll probably bake it. The recipe tells you to do it in the microwave. Yeah, I don't like cooking chicken in the microwave. Warming it up, fine. Cooking chicken in the microwave? I don't think so. I'm going to bake it in the oven. And then I'm going to have rice. And then we're just going to have some easy mixed vegetables and cake. So that's my meal, my Sunday meal for tomorrow. So come watch me make the chicken and see how that turns out in the morning. And I'll show you the cake then. And, oh, hello. Thank you for watching. And you have a good evening. And I will see you later. Bye.